Yo, yo, yo. My goodness, all of these records are being broken. Have you noticed? Go into the top chat if you're a fanatic, and that's what the word fan means, and let me know the three records that we have all broken together this week. I would be impressed if you knew that. Hello, kids and folks at home. Excited to have you here. Let me know if I'm doing this right. You're the only ones that would know. Did you watch the premiere? And does that premiere toss you over to this live? I don't know how YouTube does it. I'm almost certain I've never watched someone's premiere or video that push them to a live. But the YouTubeinator, when I set it up, it says that that's how it does be working. So let me know. Again, in the top chat, please, because this is live right now. Southern Gold, tell me who you are. I don't know your name. If your name on YouTubeinator is Fred Cucumber 11, I don't know how to refer to you. I'm pretty sure your last name isn't Cucumber. So just start with, I'm Fred. Maybe where you're from, and then what you've been doing. But I like to ask the questions around here. Kill shot. So, number one, what are the three records we've broken? Number two, we're going to be getting on with Hender and calling a landlord who is willing to hand him his second free laundromat. Oh, Danny, try not to be an idiot. This doesn't work. This isn't real. No such thing as free. Why would you think about the impetus that people have for their little universe, right? And why in the actual do they want to turn you into one of their zombies? Why do they want to bite you and turn you into another damn vampire? Why? I crack up when somebody goes on Facebook and says, I'm thinking about getting a new pickup truck. Tell me what y'all think. What's the best brand? Now, you're probably not even hoping to hear from someone that says, well, I've been a fleet manager for 35 years for Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota, Dodge, bitty bitty boo. 11 companies. And I've driven every pickup there is. So here's my take. No, what you're going to get on Facebook is Dodge is the best because I got 3 of them. Hell, I wouldn't be found on the road dead in a Ford. You're not going to get a real response from your Facebook friends or anybody in a cross section of life. So when someone says to you, there's no such thing as a free laundry, I don't know why he's the same dude that's trying to tell you about his Ford, but he is. What's their impetus for that comment? Every single client that I've ever had that hasn't been a fucking lunatic and has come along with me for this ride and has done the work, they get a store or 2 or 10, 11. Got a guy in Poland that's got 12 now. This is serious life-changing money. No one knows what laundromats earn until they're in the business because everybody's lying about it. No one knows if free laundromat's real until they watch 2,000 of my videos or just one good one and realize that I am sitting in this chair doing this with you. My impetus is to make sure that the don't take your time, which is the most valuable thing that you have, your money, and your thoughts, and turn you into another vampire. Go watch yesterday's live if you want to know what I mean. It was literally unfolding before our eyes, kids. We had an individual who was emailing me, hey, I saw your course. I'm interested in this. Tell me what you charge. How can I get your cell phone number? And in 4 days, he was turned into a zombie by a lying sack of sack sack of shit. Oh, I know that guy. I know Danny. He doesn't know me. And he makes his money when you retool your laundromat, he gets a kickback from the distributors. Can you fucking imagine? 21 years I've been doing this with you guys. And you know what? I have been offered. I saw the emails. Back in the day, the course was like one a week. One a day was exciting. And, you know, I'd look at the emails. My wife would tell me, oh, blah, blah, blah at ag.com just bought the course back when it was a DVD. Oh, well, they're not looking for information how to get a laundromat for free, I assume. They've all done it. They're trying to poke and prod and figure out who I really am and if I'm worth working with. Would you guys have ever trusted me if on day one I started wearing a distributor shirt, be it Queen, Ag? I'm just having fun with the buttons, sorry. Fill in if you know what I'm saying. No, on day two, you wouldn't trust me any longer. And there are dipshits, knuckleheads, and fucktards that are out there on the YouTubeinator right now that are saying, go buy this. Oh, I'm an influencer to talk to you about how to make money in laundromats. But by the way, this is a better product and a better mousetrap. What we're going to do right now is we're going to burn through your comments in the chat. I want my real fanatics to let me know right now, and they're probably not even here because of one of the records we've broken this week. So I want and I'm not a numbers guy. I love all 28 of you that are watching right now. Love you. Because you're over-the-road truck drivers. You're single moms. Well, you're stay-at-home moms. You're doctors and dentists and folks without a job. I don't recommend you try to start a business in that position, but a cross section. I don't want 1.4 million people watching my silly lives. I don't. I want 35, 50, 70 of you that really want to do this, and it's working out well. A friend of mine called it a bit of a cult. The entertainment part is just in my nature. The real information part, ask me anything. If you're new here, you're the ones that I want all of us to bring into the fold. You're the ones I want to bite on the neck. I guess vampires is going to be the comment of the day. I got to come up with a better, our inside joke. Our ISJ is vampires. That's what we're going to comment later. Somebody's going to have to remind me I said that. Southern Gold, he just got home from scouting, he or she. Mike says, hi, Danny. Hey. Ugh. Southern Gold says, I didn't see a premiere for this video. Thank you for answering my question, Tom. So, yeah, weird. I don't know. I put up the premiere, and then it's supposed to dump you into this live, which is a different thing from the premiere. Oh, well. Lee, hey, Danny, I have everything completed, waiting on the next step. Lee, you and I consulted almost over a year ago. Try to calm down, bro. I got your text. I got your 2 emails. I'm excited for you. I know that you're excited. We're going to get you the ice cream before it melts. Don't worry. There is a process. I'm aware. Joe. Hi, Danny. Joe from New Jersey. Here's a first over 2-hour live the other day. Correct, Joe. That's one of 3 records we've broken. Do you know what the other 2? Does anybody know? Let me know. Jorge, he's giving a wave, I think. I don't know emojis too good. Hey, Jorge. Immoral coil. Fuck, he said. Oh. He says, you raised your prices on me, Danny. Nothing wrong with charging your worth. My fault for procrastinating. I'll be in touch with you soon. I should be raising prices every year, probably, and I don't. So he is not, for the cheap seats, talking about my course. It's always been the same. 21 plus years. It's been the same exact price. Even though we add to it, we spend tons of money on the back end making it better, hiring producers, etc., adding content to it, taking away content that may not make sense any longer, which is very, very, very little, by the way. But the next step would be consulting with me. And yes, of course, here's what I've always done. No time limit. If you've seen my course, kids, and you're watching this, I'll talk to 30, 50, 60 of you, 1,000 of you who will watch this evergreen video. If you've seen my course and you want to get my cell phone, I don't limit the time I will spend with you. How crazy does that seem? Well, I don't want to be bothered by having to look at a clock and figure out how long I've spent with whoever Immoral Coil is. Marcus, what's up, Danny? What up? Trey, by the way. Okay, Trey, I know that you're talking about something beyond, and I don't want to just sit and talk to you, Trey. It's not fair to everybody. Do you have my cell phone, Trey? Send me a text. Then I will know if we've consulted. Lee, yes, sir. Yes, Lee. Love you. Lindsay, not sure what the other 2 are, but I'm going to guess the longest live, record number of viewers on a live, and record number of leases signed. I don't really even keep track of people on the lives or the leases signed. That's neither here nor there, but nicely. So, longest live, 3 days in a row doing lives, and I forgot what the other record was. Did I say 3? I know there's at least 2. Well, now we really need a fan because somebody else is going to know what the 3rd record was. Number of illegal YouTube words. Oh, there we. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick, for sake. Absolutely, and that's probably not even close, but I appreciate it. Immoral Coil, working on it all within my grasp. Love what you do, Danny. Thanks, bud. So we haven't consulted, and yes, of course, prices change, but the one thing that will never change, and none of this is out of anyone's grasp. That's never been my thing. Those of you that know me or at least consult with me, you know some inside baseball facts about my life. They're not hard to figure out. I have a playlist. The playlist, let me see if I can find it for you. I got to call Hender, man. It's getting late. Guys, if you're a client, please don't text me during the live and ask questions and stuff. It's kind of rude. I want to be honest. It's a little bit rude. I feel like it's sort of trying to take advantage of what I'm doing for everyone, and it's not cool. But thank you for asking. All right, I'm going to go to studio. I'm trying to find a playlist. Content. I am not a computer geek. Have you seen your kids? Do you have teenagers and they get their phone and they're like, and they can do all the things? It's crazy. My playlist within my channel that is public to you guys, one of them is called Lifestyle. There's a whole bunch of them. All right, here it is. There's my Lifestyle playlist. I don't put a lot of effort into it. I don't put a lot of effort into much other than my relationship with my wife and kids, because that's the most important thing any of us will ever do. So there. Not now. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the club. Not now, but later after you see this, or anybody watching the top chat, click on that play or find the lifestyle playlist. It's just some of the stuff that I do. Yes, I own 151 acres in Arizona, and I've got private facilities there, and we do stuff off grid, and it's badass. Yes, I have a penthouse in Mexico. If some of you know me, you can go stay there. I'd be happy to have you do that. And the lifestyle stuff spills over. It is a Zen happiness thing. If all you think is going to make you whole is money and things, you're wrong. And you always hear people that have those items say that, but it's true. That's only 98% of it. The rest, boom. All right, let's call Hender. I'm going to put a little line here. I want you guys to do me a favor and continue to comment in the live chat. If you don't know how to do that, figure it out. Because when there's 67 of you on here, I want 67 of you to say hello. Let me know where you're calling in from. I know you're not calling in. Let me know where you're at. First name, where you're calling from. If you watch the lifestyle thing, you'll see me burn a hole in my actual thumb. You'll see me buy Rolex watches. You'll figure out why I have all these bracelets. It's great fun. Okay, maybe you don't give a shit, and that's fine too. That's my fine Two-Face. Do you read comic books? Here's a question for all of you. If you could have any superpower, this is like comic book geeks questions. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? There's only one right answer. Go ahead, let me know. Don't think about it. Write your answer down in the chat or in the comments. If it wasn't for late, I would never be on time. Danny D.
Donnie D.
Where are you at right now?
Oh man, I just drove my daughter to softball practice.
What are you wearing?
Oh, can tell you. Ay, malvavisco.
You're probably not even old enough to remember phone. Oh my God, it was great. Now that everybody's got a computer in their hand. All right. Never know where these calls are going to go. I'm excited. So remind me and the folks at home what the fuck is going on here. We've been trying to get these folks. When did you find this store?
From like a couple months ago. Just a couple months ago, because he closed about 8 months ago. So I guess I got to know about it about 4 months into it.
Okay. And you understand, and you even talked about this long form in the sit down video that we did in your first free laundromat, that it's not me that's going to tell you, hey, don't get excited about one store. It's the understanding that that's the worst thing you could do. But you do like this store because it's close. It's in a good position versus, driving to Newark. That requires a response like, see.
Comprendo.
I guess I didn't ask a question. Monica, we talked to somebody different, and now we've got the actual gal, and they've got their set price that they want. I didn't talk to her about any of this, right?
No, no, yeah, we
Okay.
talked to her about 2 years ago for another store that was a, they took all the infrastructure out, so we were not interested.
All right, good. Thank you. Thanks for understanding. And the clients that work with me understand I don't pretend that I know or even remember. I know what to do with these stores and with the negotiation, but I don't remember. And I'm not going to be the guy ever that says, oh, yeah, I'm going to look at some notes before I call Hender or you and say, oh, yeah, I remember. I don't remember. I don't have the space in my mind for that. So you give me the bullet points. You tell me what's important. Scream if you have to. Right now, we need to grab her by the collar and say, we're not going to give you $30,000 in key fees. That's pretty much it.
And also what it is coming to it, Donnie, is that I spoke with the doctor next door, and he's like, Hender, I've been here 20 years, and I've seen about 11 or 12 different owners, and I guess obviously one of the reasons is that the rent is way too high, and they just want to squeeze everything out of the what they said, out of the person that takes the laundromat, and that's why
Sure.
one of the closest, they're
That's
asking for
great.
so much money that it's insane.
That's really good information. And something like that, when you're playing cards, you keep that close to the vest. I'm not going to say that to her unless I have to, because would they rather take $30,000 from you? And guys, key fees are basically they think they have something above and beyond a future long-term lease. They think they have a value where they're going to get 30 grand up front. I've seen this in the hundreds of thousands. I've seen it in the few thousand. But then we've got to get to whatever their ask is for a deposit, a down payment on the lease. And they would rather nickel and dime a poor operator and
Mm-hmm.
churn through 12 of them rather than have one good operator. And so that's the argument. And it's simple. But all this is moot. I shouldn't say that. All of this is academic until we talk to her. So I haven't really negotiated on this one. We know her name. We know the address. We are going to call her up, and we've texted her, so it's a pretty good bet that we'll talk to her, and that's always nice.
Yeah.
And where are we at with $3,800 a month moving forward? If that's the start point, we're going to shave that because that's their ask. That goes without saying. We're shaving that. But even if it was that, where would you be with that? Not happy.
It's not happening. But what happened is that it's the same amount of machine that I have in my store. Obviously, it's a little smaller. I'm at 1,200 square feet, paying 2,000. This one is 1,700, and they're asking double. So
Yeah. So what's your square footage price on your start date? Because that's what we're going to ask. Where are you at?
Right. So right now, I think they're asking close to $2.
Right.
So, obviously we wanted to try to be as close as $1 as we can. I mean, the machines there are half-ass. I haven't seen them, but they kind of, you can see the picture. They kind of look half-ass.
Well, we don't want them. I never argue for the machinery. They're not going to take it,
right.
But they're not going to get 30 grand either. She doesn't know what she's looking at.
Right.
And we both know
Correct.
You'll probably keep it in there for some amount of time. What my question was.
The place looks big. I'm sorry, Danny. It's kind of the place looks big in paper, like 1,700 square feet. It's a lot of space. No. But at the end of the day, it's about the machines. You know what I mean? We can have 5,000 square feet, but if only allow 10 machines, then it's irrelevant how much space it is.
Right. My question hasn't been answered. What is your price per square foot on store number 1?
It's about a little bit over $1, $1.16, okay. Something like that.
Okay, pennies over.
Yeah,
and she can get to her ask, but it's not going to be in the first 5 years. All right, I'm going to hammer this broad. Here we go. Hopefully she's not listening.
All right, brother. You got it.
All right, stand by. And now he mutes his phone, ladies and gentlemen. And we call. Now's where you subscribe when the phone rings.
Hey, Danny, this is Monica. How are you?
What's happening? I knew it was you. Got your number saved.
Cool. All right, beautiful.
I
Happy
bet
to
we
hear
can
that.
get this lease done in 28 seconds. You want to bet?
Oh. Let's hear.
All right.
Talk to me.
When I go to buy a new car, I know that the salesman just wants to make the money, but more importantly is whether or not I want a test drive. And I don't need a test drive. So I usually lead with that. We don't have to go outside. Let's just make a deal. Okay, that's only on new cars, by the way. Used cars are dangerous. I've already spent 28 seconds just bullshitting. This, you understand our background. And so for Hender and I, this is all about the infrastructure that's in this store. And, you know,
Yeah.
whether or not you get that, our MO is fairly simple. Yes, I have some strip malls. Yes, I've purchased dirt in the past when it makes sense, but it's rare. If your modus operandi is to run very, very successful cash laundromats in rented space, not buy them and not build them, then the lease is very important in that scenario. And also good relationships with the distributors that sell the equipment. So, Monica, our goal here is to sign a great lease. Both parties are happy. Yeah, I know there's not many win-wins, but somebody's going to have to take a bit of a haircut, at least in the beginning. And we're going to be spending.
Like a divorce attorney, Danny.
What's that?
You sound like a divorce attorney.
Oh, God, never. No, I've been with my wife 28 years. That's never going to change. No.
That's awesome.
Well, I take that as a compliment, I guess. My only lawyer joke.
It is a compliment.
Have you heard about the tragedy? A busload of lawyers went over a cliff. You're supposed to say, "What's the tragedy?"
No, that's
there were. Well, it's not. That's not the punchline. There were 2 empty seats.
Oh.
All right. Lawyers don't like that. All right. What we want is a great lease, and what we're going to do is elevate the center, obviously, elevate your property because a very, very good laundromats exist, and it's about everything, right? It's about 98% equipment. It's about 98% everything else. Having proper hours, having attendance on premises. We don't want it to turn into a homeless haven. All of that stuff that we understand. We're going to put all this in writing and give you an LOI tomorrow.
Perfect. Okay.
We are going to retool this store. That equipment is going to go. And it doesn't have any value. If it had value other than scrap, it would have earned the previous tenants X, Y, and Z. And look, we do our research. This, I don't know how long, I can ask, how long have you worked for this landlord or entity? How long have you been involved in this project?
3 years,
Okay.
3 or 4 years.
And how many laundromat operators have you seen come and go?
So I actually placed a laundromat operator in one of our units about 1.5 years ago. He's the other guy I reached out to regarding this. So yeah, but how many have come and gone? I guess this is the second. and the first one I saw it go vacant, and then I placed the current tenant, and they're doing fairly well.
Well, I'm not going to ask that because I am no laundromat expert. I'm no marriage expert. You'll never hear me talk about what I'm an expert in because I'm learning every day, and I'm learning about this business every day, even though we've got 30 plus locations. So and again, let's start the 28-second clock now. What we need is a reasonable rate of rent, not for the area, not for your center, but our debt service on the brand new equipment is close to $8-9 grand a month. Okay. This is a $200 a square foot investment for us. And I don't plan on being gone in a year. Nobody does. Nobody with their hot dog stand plans on being gone in a year. But our research shows you've had 12 operators here in under 20 years. And that's terrible. And if I'm getting to a point, we do $1 a square foot in this area of New York. And before you gasp, that's with reasonable increases because I've got that. And who cares about me, right? You've got a choice. Your biggest choice right now is to put another operator in here or get rid of the laundromat because you can get that rate. You can get whatever the normal rate is or the going rate for an optometrist or a nail salon. I wouldn't blame you because who cares? Well, the community needs a laundry, and that's why this is a good spot. The key fees, we don't pay key fees because we're not buying a business. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings, and I'm not just rubber stamping this.
No, no, you understand that, these are all negotiable items. I'm very curious to see
Right.
an LOI come over.
Okay.
That's
But I
why.
would never send one until we talked. And not because I want to be your friend, nor do I see you as an adversary, but I want to talk about the points so you can say, oh my God, that's never going to happen. This landlord is a real mashugana. There's no way on earth. And then I'll say, well, maybe it will happen. And here's why. And that's why the conversation is important to me. And I don't think you're trying to hustle me off the phone. At the end of the day, the paperwork is important, but the conversation is even. I'm a handshake guy, right? Yeah, I've got 3 lawyers,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. So key fees out the
Right.
window. What I'm if I write this thing for $1.10 a square foot with 3% increases, I don't want to be ignored. But we've got a store in West Babylon that we're doing $1, and we're on year 2. That I'm only picking on that because, as you know, as a realtor, it's all about the comps, right? And you can go visit that store if you'd like. You can come in and do some laundry. I wouldn't, but it's lovely. It's safe, and that's what we intend to do. We're not going to limp this place along the way that it is. So, I mean, that's all I want to talk about. Really, I don't want you to see an LOI. I'm not going to write no key fees on the LOI. It isn't there. Next question for you. What type of abatement can you offer me on a 15-year term? And I don't care if it's a 5 and a 5 or a 10 and a 5 or 3 5s. We need to be at 15 years because we retool every 7. It's our goal. I want to keep my debt service running. I'm not the guy that's like, oh, as soon as I pay off this equipment, it's going to be free and clear. No, because of my tax benefits, and I might be saying too much. You probably don't care. But my depreciation on the new equipment is stellar for us. So it's a good model, if that makes sense.
Okay.
What kind of free rent can you offer on 15 years?
At $1 a square foot, I don't know. I don't know. Because he's looking at, I'm just going to give you the monthly and, you could do with it what you want. The
Please.
base rent monthly, he's looking for 3,800 base.
Right.
With
I know.
additional, so, on 15 years, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. You said $1.25, did you say a square foot?
No, you said that. I said
Or
$1.
$1.
I said $1.10.
Yeah.
I like your style.
$1.10.
Where are you from?
Right. You said that you're at $1 in your other store.
Where are you from, Monica?
So $1. I'm sorry.
Where are you from originally?
Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. What
Brooklyn,
part?
New York.
X,
Why?
X and Y. Sheepshead Bay.
Oh yeah. So I lived on 22nd and U for a bit. But my stomping ground was kind of East Flatbush, Mill Basin, Marine Park.
I love it. Lundy's, you ever been to Lundy's?
Yes, of course I have.
All right. Well,
Yes.
we're both
Yes,
showing
sure.
we're showing our age now. All right, off the subject. I
Yes,
like
I
that. I
know.
like your style.
Yes. Yes, I know.
I'm not
So,
I'm not
yeah,
trying to I'm
so-
not trying to say $1 all in. Cams and taxes, there's nothing I can do about that. That's always going to be there. So I'm trying to shave the base because cams and taxes, even for me, is a write-off. There's nothing I can do about it.
Okay, so let me ask you. There are a couple of big laundromats, reputable laundromats in on the island. I can think of 2 or 3 of them right now. What is your signature? What's your laundromat?
Oh, I'll email you. You can look at photos and before and afters. We don't have, and I like what you're asking about is our
Brand.
the brand. Thank you. God bless you. We don't have a brand. The reason being,
Okay.
if we end up doing this store will be Alvarado, West Babylon, 1-4. And if we
So
have no,
Hender
seriously,
is a
because
system.
if we have a sign, I know everybody loves Hender. If we have a sign outside that says Johnny's Laundry and it lights up and it's been there since the 50s, I'm not going to change that. I'm going to leave it. And every store gets its own separate entity. And here's why. It's a great question. Brand? You think that the laundromat customer that walks in gives a shit? They don't care about brand. They want a clean,
Well,
bright,
I'm talking,
comfortable
I'm,
location.
I'm just talking, listen, can I sell something to the landlord?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
tell him
yeah.
it's a laundry palace? That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah. 30,
That's why
30, yeah, it's 36 stores. And I'll email you so you can see all of that.
You just broke up.
I'm back. I'm alive again. Can you hear me, Monica?
I can.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Sorry. So look, we're going to make an offer. I hate the back and forth. I truly do. I know hate is a strong word, but
So does he. So does my guy.
good. And I don't offer $1 to get to almost 2, which is what your ask is. But if you say, you know, it's all going to depend, and I understand that. We normally ask for 12 months on a 15-year term because we're looking for not only, and that's not because we want to break into profit on month 11. It's because I can't even get this equipment in for 6 months normally. You know, when you go to buy a washer or a dryer or even a refrigerator, you go into Lowe's Depot and you expect them to have it on the shelf and they don't, you go to the other store. You're going to LG, you're upset. But our equipment is all custom crafted. They don't have this stuff sitting on the shelf. It's something you wouldn't know. And it's very expensive. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to see a real LOI from us that makes a lot of sense. Last question.
Okay.
Is there any money? Does your guy have any money? Does he pay any TI?
So he does on some of the, the lesser, some of the really bad units.
Yeah. If it needs a
quite
restroom,
honestly,
of course.
yeah, like he will. I haven't seen this one. From what I understand, I haven't seen this one. I don't even know what the units look like. I don't even know if they're Laundromats. I don't know if that's the brand that you use.
That's funny. No, the answer is there's Dexter in there, and the caveat is I don't give a shit. What do I mean? When I sign a lease, Hender and I go to every single distributor and bring them in and let them fight in the middle of the room over the table scraps. It doesn't matter. All laundry equipment.
Smart.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very smart.
All the laundromat equipment is
So-
the same. They're all box. Let me tell you something you don't know. PVC. If you're a plumber, what brand of PVC do you like? I don't care. It's just white. It's PVC. It's the same with laundry. It's the same with washers, dryers. They all hate when I say that. Oh yeah, it's all the same. All the patents have expired 20 years ago. They're not coming up with anything new and different. It's either coin or card.
Let me ask you. So may I ask you a question?
Of course, you just did.
Okay. So, off of the business tip, but what kind of wash machine do you have in your home? What kind do you use? What brand?
Only top loaders, which I would never.
Only
for
top
me,
loaders, yes.
Yeah, I've got
100% top loader.
I've got a place in Brooklyn Heights. I have a penthouse in Mexico. I'm not trying to impress you. I've got 150 acres up in northern Arizona. I've got a house in Cave Creek. And your question is a good one, and I give you the answer. I don't care about brand. It's the same as anything else. But I would never put a front loader in my residence.
It's funny because I have 2 of them. First of all, they're tough to like unload and load.
Yep.
But just for you close the door on a front loader, you're going to develop mold in there. Like
there you go.
It's a thing. Yeah.
I like you even more and more we talk. And here's what's funny. About 10, 15 years ago, they started to bring front load washers into residential use because people felt like, ooh, these are big. These are just like the ones at the laundromat I used to use. But they're not. The ones at the laundromat, the front loaders are bolted into the ground in the concrete, and they do the cleaning in the spin cycle. That's called an extractor. Extractors at your home level are not real. They're just on springs and they spin at about 2000 RPM. Anyway, don't get me started. I don't care the brand.
Yeah.
The biggest top loader
That's
you can
interesting.
get is what you want in your house. Next time your washer breaks, you think of Danny, the biggest top loader you
I
can get.
just bought one.
Oh God,
I just
not a
bought
front
one.
loader.
It was no, I did because I
See,
had made I bought a front loader years ago before I really knew about the mold and stuff. And soon as we bought, it was on the pedestals and I hated it ever since. But now I have the front loader dryer. I'm selling my house, so I was like, fuck it, let me just get, another front loader and that's it. And it was easy, and but I'm with you on the top loader. The only thing, and then I'm going to end this conversation personally, is that I don't like about the top loader is there's no agitator today. Like that is like, it just seems, and we're
because
used to
I
an
just told you.
agitator in a top loader.
All right, you said you're right about it. We're going to end this discussion. Here's what I like to say to distributors and everybody else. You're a piece of dirt. Would you rather be agitated or extracted?
Extracted.
No, you'd rather be agitated
Right?
because then you can keep going to church on Sunday in the pants. When you're agitated, you can keep in the armpit and keep going to the kids' soccer game. You see, you're a piece of dirt. You want to stay in the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the consumer wearing the pants to church or wearing the soccer shirt, you want the dirt gone and you want it to be extracted. Even the word, oh, I'm a little pissed off, I'm agitated, or I'm extracted. When you're extracted, you go down the drain. That's what spinning out does. All right, that's my whole spiel. I used to be a stand-up comic, you can tell. Never a lawyer. Key fees goes away. We know that. We're gonna write what is. You want me to write it for $1.25? I'll write it for $1.25, but that's because I want to stop there. I don't want to write it for $1. Again, we've got $1 a square foot to start. I assume your increases. What are your increases? What are you looking to increase every year?
3%.
Okay. 3% is normal. I'm not going to fight you for 2.5%, which is $100, at the end of the day. So I'll put 3% increases in the LOI. It doesn't need to be there because everything on your side, you plug into the lease. How many pages is your standard lease?
6 maybe.
Love it.
Might be about 6.
Yeah, good. It's
not a crazy thing.
No, a 97. I've seen a 97-page lease, and I've seen a lease on a cocktail napkin. You know which one I prefer, but 6 pages, God bless.
Listen, this guy is like you. He has a lot of properties.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of them throughout the country.
Good.
A concentration in Long Island.
You're going to go back. You're my mouthpiece. You're going to say to the guy, look, this dude knows what he's doing. You're not going to have to worry about the rent. The rent might be a little lower, but you're not going to have to go in there and poke the guy with a stick. That's it. Let us send you the letter of intent. I understand. You had a perfect answer when I said, well, what kind of free rent can I expect? You say that at $1 less. I understand that. I get it. What we're going to poke you on is whether or not there's air conditioning and heat here. You might be surprised. Like you said, you haven't even seen it. If there's no AC here, we need 6 tons. We have to have it. There are laundromats right now, Monica. Can you imagine you and your kids dragging your ass into a laundromat with no air conditioning in July? But they still do it. It's gross. I don't care if it's a laundromat. And then the thought is, well, we'll get rid of the laundry. If you get rid of the laundry, you're going to have to put the tons on the roof anyway because an optometrist isn't going to be in there like open wide. Sorry about the air. Wait a minute. That's the eyeball. All right, good. What else? What did I got your email?
So that my sweat can drip.
Right. Give me your email address.
Monica.
I got it the first time through. Nicely done. Okay, I'm going to fire you off an LOI. Give us about a day. And, I like your style. So you've got my cell phone number. You want to text me and say you're nuts. God bless. We'll talk about this. Let's get it done. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, likewise. Have a good one. Bye,
Thanks.
Danny. Nice talking to you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
And she's Italian. My wife in her wedding dress. We lost Hender. Twice he had to call me back. He was probably watching the YouTube.
Hey, Danny.
Yo, yo, yo. What are your thoughts? Hello? She's gone. It's just us. Hender, are you okay? Your phone be muted. Try not to be an idiot.
Hender NY Alvarado.
Yo.
Johnny.
What are you doing? Are you driving 200 miles an hour in that Mercedes of yours?
No, just a little bit over 100.
All right. So before I break my arm patting myself on the back, what did you think? I mean, look, you're a great guy. You have a good gift of gab. You're able to understand all this stuff and the vibe. But I think if I'm not wrong, even somebody like you kind of get nervous. Like that's the thing about dealing with a landlord. And you know, and she doesn't want to talk to people that are kind of iffy or nervous or not sure how to ask for it. Like right away, it's like 30 grand gone. That's not happening. She's like, yeah. She didn't say no, but I also know that I didn't have to ask her to take that off the table. I was just like, that ain't going to happen. Oh yeah. Oh, I understand. And then instead of telling her that we know there's been 12 operators in 20 years, oh, right. What's the thing that everybody banties about these days? Laundromats are a 95% success rate. Fuck you.
They never close.
Yeah, they never close. Is that true here? No, it's a clever lie. It is true here because this place is still a laundromat after 40 years. But in the past 20, it's had 12 failures because right now is there an operator in there?
At the moment, no.
Because she actually started to say he did well. I was like, he didn't do well, lady. If he did, she should feel badly that she put someone in there and signed a lease with someone who failed, because part of that was the lease. But there's so many tiers to this. There's so much that we have in ammunition on our side. There's no need to bring it out. There's no need to bring out the big guns. All the other acronyms, you know, all the other scenarios. We don't need to go there because all we want is somebody on our side who's going to, I mean, look, X and Y Avenue, I'm from Brooklyn. We can talk like that. I can do the same shit with somebody from Austin, Texas, because I've been there. Oh my God, I love the river walk. Okay, blah, blah, blah. You know, just get along with people. That's all. And she goes, the guy's a lot like you. Oh, all right. We never get to talk to these landlords. We get to talk to their mouthpiece. And part of this, make them like you. I'm not the guy that makes them hate me. If they tell me to go fuck off, they're going to get it right back. Beyond that, the important points, the 30 grand isn't even important. Getting to $1 a square foot is important. Taking what he wants to collect to half, and we do that by planting in her mind this shining city on a hill, that this is going to be a beautiful laundry. She said, and when you get home, you can go into the YouTube and watch this and put the notes in. But she said, importantly, I've never even been there. I'm not even sure. And I think she meant since she dealt with a previous tenant, but she might mean never. So you've been through the AC fight where he wanted to give you nothing, where he wanted to charge you $2 a square foot. And we turned all that around. That's what we're going to do here with no crystal ball. You know, she wants an LOI. So let me fire it off to you. And what we're going to do, I mentioned the high points. Not only the 30 grand goes away, but also a year of abatement. She didn't spit out her coffee. She didn't say you're nuts. But I got to give her credit because when I said, well, what kind of free rent could we get? She said, at $1. That's the right answer. Everything is a push and a shove, a give and a take, a see and a saw. And the monkey in the wrench is the fact that what do you really want most? $1 a square foot. Because if you look at the line item, yeah, $40,000-$50,000 in air conditioning, people get palpitated. Oh my God, he gave you free air. What's he going to do if he gets rid of the laundry? He's going to put air in there anyway. It's a moot point. There's no way you're paying for it any more than you're going to give him 30,000. If someone gives them 30 grand for this business, they're a schmuck. Stupid. Now, if you keep that equipment there for a year or 2 or 3, at the point when you get sick and tired of playing with it and you want to renew it, renew it.
Right. But the people are they're so excited into owning one laundromat or getting into the business, and we have talked about this in length in previous videos, that they will do whatever it takes, even making a huge mistake, to have that feather in the cap saying, okay, now I own a laundromat.
Yeah. And I can guarantee you, over the history of this location, that almost every one of those dozen operators has tried and succeeded in selling it. Because here's what you do. You buy it, you give the operator money, the landlord rakes you over the coals by either handing you the existing lease, allocating the lease to you. Well, they were screwed at $2 a square foot. Why not you? You know nothing about commercial lease. It's not important. What's important is that you buy a laundromat, and she even asked, what type of equipment do you like? Don't fucking matter. That's the only good answer. Doesn't matter. I like the cheap. Even if you say I like the cheapest stuff, that might make you look like the guy that wants the cheapest guy to come clean your pool, or the cheapest guy to come clean your, I should say, redo your kitchen, which I do both. But you know what I mean? That's telling. But when you say it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter for anyone, she's compiling information on you and saying, oh my God, you know a lot about the business. I'm not a lease expert. I'm not a negotiating expert. I'm not even a laundry expert. You'll never hear me say I'm an expert on anything. When you put it all together, she wants to hear that you're a good operator, and you through me. And I make sure I mention your name or any client's name, and we bring it all together. It's just a conversation. It's just not having that lump in your throat and saying, oh my God, what's going to happen here? And I'm doing this 6-7 times a day, meaning getting LOIs sent out, not just calling and leaving fucking messages. And again, I can't help but if you're tuning in live and you're saying what happened, go back and watch the call. First, not the first time I've spoken with her, but the first time on this property, and probably the first time we've broken through and had a good discussion like this. So Henry, you got your work cut out for you. Don't send her the LOI, send it to me, and we're going to do 12 months abatement. We're going to do, make sure that you say proper and sufficient tonnage of AC, all the normal stuff that's in there. And I wouldn't go big on money with this guy, because we're going to go big on very, very reasonable and commensurate rent. And like I said, hey, we'll send you to the other store that's close, because that way she's not going to even traipse over there. I've never had a landlord that wanted to go look at a store that I knew about. They could say, oh, I looked, and you're kind of like, yeah, sure you did. If they do, your attendant knows instantly that some lady in heels walked in and looked around and left.
All right.
What else you want to say? You want to stay on with the people for a couple minutes?
Let's do it.
You're so nice. All right. Henry and Danny now attacking the comment sections. When you got disconnected on the phone, did you go to YouTube, or did you just, what happened? Or was that like short-lived?
No, I was just literally driving through a place that doesn't have connection.
Oh, okay. Holland Tunnel. Do your kids look for the middle of the Holland Tunnel?
No.
Oh, you got to get them into that. I used to remember we'd drive through, and my dad got us all whipped into a frenzy, and we'd have to see that middle point. I think on the way into the city, they pulled all the tile. They're always messing with the tile, so you have to be on the way out. Anyway,
Okay.
I wish Lundy's was still there, because I could use some fried clams. Good evening. I'm new to the live, says VB. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. I'm from Dallas, Georgia. VB, we don't know your name, but welcome aboard. Enjoy. Watch my lives. You'll get a lot of information, but it takes a while to get there, if you know what I mean. The edited content is good. Just find a good playlist that you like. Jorge's in McAllen, Texas. McAllen, Texas. Hola, Jorge. David is from Nicaragua. Look at that. Allen's in Orange County. See, this is boring. Hot Springs, Arkansas. Michael. Hello, Mike. Dionysus, Cryonisus. Love your work, Danny. Hello. We're all in the car right now listening with the boys. What's the scenario with that? I'm not sure I understand. You're always driving. Is it because you're in the middle of the tundra out there in, I remember you're definitely, where do the toilets flush backward with the kangaroos? That's where they live. Splash 'em out laundry. That's our friend Joe Dan. He's Hender's driving a Ferrari today. No, he drives his badass Mercedes at 200 miles an hour. Lindsay, burning a hole in your thumbnail, Danny. I died a little inside watching that. I know that hurt. Does it have to be so hot? Can you just use something sharp? No. Imagine trying to pound a nail into your finger. And by the way, the pain that it takes to remove that black nail syndrome, it's nothing compared to the pain when it's throbbing. You can't even sleep at night. We'll do it together sometime. Hey, Dan, it's been a while, says Sam. You've been busy. Yeah, well, I'm always busy. If you knew I'm on the phone every single day, guys. I'm consulting with people normally on weekends. I don't consult or talk to anyone or give my cell phone out to anyone that hasn't seen my silly course, and that should make sense, right? I frankly don't want to answer the first million questions in person and waste your time, not my time. You watch the silly course, and then you've got smaller questions. The important stuff, the big stuff is out of the way. They asked Leonardo, not DiCaprio, how do you do it? How do you turn a giant chunk of marble into David? He said, I just remove the parts that aren't David. And the funny thing is, you start with dynamite. You start with a chisel. And everybody wants to get to the sandpaper. If you're new, like you are, you're in the dynamite phase. Shit, you're in the quarry looking for the right piece of granite to turn into David's little balls. You're supposed to be laughing at my jokes, Hender. If you knew at the age 18 how to scoop up laundromats for free, would you have joined the Navy? Oh, I would have joined the Navy because I only did the Navy because I was trying to get out of town over a girl. I'm a very passionate person. And I would show her, I would leave town if she broke up with me. That didn't fucking work out so good. But yeah, that's another story for a campfire. Jason says, do you see the current fad situation where the masses are buying laundromats with the gurus ending up being good for the free laundromat approach? Do you have a sense of when the fad will fade? That's a good question. I love questions about me. And let me read it again. Do you see the current fad where the masses are buying laundry? It's not a fad. Most people, Jason, buy laundromats. I might have 50,000 followers and the other gurus might have 50,000 followers or more or less. I don't pay attention. But those followers add up to a lot more than mine, right? We've got Joe Dan Reed on here. I have no fucking idea why he does YouTube. You'd have to ask him. I do YouTube because I don't want to see you guys fail. If you buy a laundromat, in my learned opinion, you'll fail. No one in my experience, if you're watching this today and you're like, well, the guy we talked about yesterday, the guy that I threw under the bus yesterday, the stupid email thread that he sent to me, if he buys a laundry, you think he's going to come back in 5 years and say, well, shit, Danny, you were right. I spent $300,000 on a laundromat with broken ass old shitty equipment and all the out of order signs were peeled off. Then I was allocated a long-term lease that fucked me. Sorry. That totally fucked me right in the ass. And guess what? You were right. No, I'm never going to hear from that guy again. You know what he's going to do, Hender? What's he going to do?
He's going to hide under a rock.
He's going to sell it again. And so to answer your question, Jason, if I ever got big, for some reason, my videos will never go viral because I like to use the curse button. And I like to I'm not fake. You think these YouTubers who are like, gee, Willikers, I love the East Coast. How's the West Coast? And there's this horrible discussion with bringing on professionals to talk about drain troughs or whatever they do. It's boring and it's silly. That ain't me. It never will be. I'd rather hang out with 50 of you guys and give you the real stuff. So these gurus will go away very quickly. Not a single one of them has been around prior to 2019. Go look. Not one. No one's selling course. And if you sell me a $5,000 course, it better be guaranteed. Mine is. It's $300. And the guarantee better be easy when I say, oh, I talk to people that have bought these people's courses and I say, what did you learn? And you know what they say? To a man, nothing. It's shitty, but we expect it. We expect late night television, ovens sold by Emeril Lagasse, bam, 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 is going to be shit. But we're hungry. Do I see the fad changing or being good or bad for free laundromat? I don't do this for money, first and foremost. What they're doing it for, what their impetus is, money. So to me, it won't matter. If I get 2 clients a year and they are like Hender, I'm thrilled. As long as I'm able to swing an axe and build things, and I'm taken care of. Ruben says, nice title. Thanks, Ruben. I know. I'm not trying to be viral. Laundromats. I was thinking, hey, Hender's going for his second laundromat. Laundromats are like potato chips. I say that all the time. And I'm like, am I going to say you need? Everybody knows the next line, and your mind is already filling in the blanks, which is, you can't just eat one. But I'm like, no, they're greasy and gross. All right. Alan says, a masterclass in negotiations. As always, fantastic content, Denny. Thanks for sharing so much. Thank you, Alan. That is why I do it. Thank you very much. Joe Dan says, brand is important if you have more than 3 stores because your brand will guide customers to a nice laundromat. I agree, Joe Dan. But don't forget, when I'm in a precarious, unique situation when the landlord's agent, in this case, Monica, asks me about brand, she's really asking me, where can I find your website and look at all of your stores? That's what she's asking. And call it a little white lie or a fib. For me and my client, Hender, I'm going to say, we don't brand. Because now she's not looking for a giant flashy website like you have with all your locations. And let me ask you, really, do any of your clients give a shit about your 3rd or 4th or 11th laundromat? No, they care about the ones closest to them. They're looking at your website to figure out where it is. No argument. I'm not arguing with you. But that's why I say it. I'm not dumb enough to think brand isn't important. I'm just dumb enough to figure out how to work for Hender and be his quote, quote, partner, unquote. Top loader at home. Go ahead.
Can you tell Joe Dan that I love him?
I wouldn't get in the middle of you two's love affair. You have to tell him. He can hear you. Oh my God, no clue. He says, blah, blah, blah. I talk about how I use. Yeah, so I use personal talk to get her on my side. I've already talked about that. Brandon says, this negotiation's golden. She will probably be on your side with the landlord. Exactly. She's our mouthpiece. I'm supposed to have this reputation for being a dick to everybody. No, I'm a dick to you the moment you step to me. And they appreciate that. And if it doesn't work, more fish in the sea. Thanks for the compliment, Brandon. She's closed, says Joe Dan. Hopefully she dates the landlord. Oh, God, that would be funny. High Desert Biker. No, I do not. No, I am a car person in 9mm. People, please, I shoot over 3,000 rounds a month in competition. People, please watch videos like this before buying a laundromat. Keyword buying. Joe Dan, I love you. You must not be on the Harley. Noah says, Hender, don't get into a fender bender while talking and driving. It's not. Noah's in Canada, by the way. We've got Ms. or Mr. Patra in India. Look at that. All the way from India. Get to bed. Hey, Siri, what time is it in? I can't even pronounce that. Driving really fast puts yourself and family and other drivers at extreme risk. Oh my God, you must be a cop. The course is amazing. I got stopped on the way back from Utah from a match, and there was like 5 people in the car, including my daughter. So I wanted to kind of be funny. And the cop comes up, and he's, a trooper. And he says, I just have one question. Where are you going? Well, he said, where are you going? I said, back home to Cave Creek, Phoenix. How is doing 90 going to get you there fast? How is doing 90 here going to get you home quicker? I swear to God, I just laughed and I said, well, I do 90 all the way. And he didn't think it was funny at all. Everybody in the car was either laughing out loud, my daughter, or trying to stifle a laugh. He didn't even write me a ticket. He just was like, yeah, maybe it's the veteran plate, but how is doing 90 here going to get you home faster? Let me tell you a little physics lesson. Oh, God. I just said it. I would not have said that if I was in the car alone. I was just trying to be a dick and make people laugh. Oh, yeah. The course is amazing, says Eric. Thank you, Eric. We love your milk. Actually, a really good analogy about David. Well, thank you, Dark Defender. I forgot your name already. David's little balls, quote. There's those words again.
There's that word again.
Yes, I know, Joe Dan, why you have the sites. Why he does it for fun and to inform about the... See, you're so busy not running your laundromats that you like YouTube. Let's admit it. You want clickies. You want followers. You sit in front of your computer and you get a certain joy out of people watching what you do. And I get that. Love your videos, Joe Dan. Very entertaining. Cut it out. Quit. Stop it. I'm going to delete you now, Joe Dan. They know our stores are clean and they will drive to them. Skip the stores close by. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good reason for branding. And of course, Hender brands, I brand, everybody brands. But I can't say that to her because she'd be like, oh, send me my website. And then
try not to be an idiot.
Ricardo wants to know, what could one negotiate down aside from the runway and 0% down with distributors? Everything. Everything gets changed. Everything gets changed. And realize that they have a stopping point, but you'll never know what it is. And if you're in love with it, and like all of the gurus preach, go buy it at whatever cost. Imagine if I sent an email or a letter to this operator a year ago, or if anyone did. I want to buy your laundromat. Will you finance it? Oh, sure. Give me 300,000, 100,000 down. You're fucked. Everything's negotiable. She said those words herself. She said those words. And I didn't get the impression, Hender, this is why I didn't stick her feet to the fire on anything. I didn't get the impression she had the ability to say yes about anything right off. So, hey, there will be no 30%. If she would have said, well, they're not going to do it without that 30 grand, then I would have stuck to my guns and talked about why, but I didn't need to. When I mentioned a baby,
Right.
She said, I don't know. So I didn't want to harp on it. And I said, well, normally on 15, I get 12. And that's really only slightly more than a month a year. That's the way you have to think about it. Dude, Patra, it's Mr. I thought so. I don't know why. It's 4 a.m. Get to bed. Oh, you're either up really fucking early or it's time for bed. Marcus, yo, Danny, where do you get that flamethrower from? Oh, the thing on my car? I built it. You can't buy that. I see here I got it hooked up on the Ram like a superhero setup. I need one of those ASAP. No, there's no plans. My truck is going to be in Recoil magazine in the coming months. If I get the pictures sent over probably this month. Recoil, look them up. Love those guys. Eric, Joe Dan taught me that distributors will call you a friend one day and then build a laundromat in your territory the next. Yeah, taught me the same thing. Horrible. True story. And that's one of Joe Dan's biggest impetus for being on here is to tell others, just like me. I want to tell people, don't get screwed. You get pissed off and you get a big platform, you're going to use that platform to make sure other people don't get pissed off. That's part of it. That's part of being a good citizen and being a good part of the community. There's a lot of buzzwords bouncing around with these fucking gurus, okay? And the buzzwords are easy to spot, right? Thought leader. Oh my goodness. Zig Heil. Or when they constantly say, this industry. Let's do a drinking game. The industry is this, and the fucking cares about the industry. I'm concerned about my stores, my family, my kids, and how we not only survive, but thrive and profit. And guess what? When your store profits, the industry doesn't give a shit. The community does. How many free washes you give away, Hender? I'm giving away free washes left, right, and center. It's fun. You want them to pick up a dirty dryer sheet off the floor next time they're in your store? $1 will do that. You'll have a friend for like, oh, I know the owner. Well, maybe not. Operator. All right, Hender, I release you into the wild, man. I love you. I'm going to send you the fresh LOI just so you have it.
Okay.
And fresh instructions. And you know what to do. Fill it out. If you email it back to me in an hour, I'll look it over and I'll okay it, but don't send it till tomorrow.
You got it, brother.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate you. Gracias.
Thank you. Adios.
De nada.
Bye. I know how to say de nada. I know how to get my face slapped in 34 languages. Pizda. All right, I wrote it down and I remembered it. So now I'm so excited. Okay, we do an inside joke thing. ISJ, and this is why it's fun. Don't go away. I hope you all enjoyed this. And I mean this. If you've seen my silly course, let's get on the phone. Go back into the course or email me, danny@freelaundromat.com. It's a few dollars and you get my phone number for life. That's it. There's only so much we can talk about after you've seen my silly course. That's my marching orders for those of you who haven't. Or spend hours and hours and hours watching my over 1,000 YouTube videos and then make up your mind. Time is the one thing you are not getting any more of. And what do I mean? You might get hit by a crosstown bus. You might be, God forbid, the first in your family to catch a horrible disease that they name after you. But we don't know how much time we have left. So make that time with your family and your loved ones as much as it can be. And if you're rolling out with a 2-hour commute every day to an 8-hour day, change it. No one else is going to change it for you. Not tomorrow, not next year, not next week. Change it. Objects in the rearview mirror just get further and further away until they are gone. We have an inside joke. So as soon as this ends, the top chat is here to stay, kids, on the lives. But the real comment section in the video, as soon as I burn it down and I end it, cruise over there. Give me a minute. Just cruise over there. Go onto my channel and look for Laundromats Are Like Potato Chips. When you see it, make a comment about vampires. I don't care if it's a joke about vampires. I don't care if it's about your uncle who was a vampire, your favorite vampire film, not movie, but film. Blade, by the way. You can hear the music now. And the reason we do it and why is it an inside joke? Because when people go to YouTube videos just like you, they start reading the comments right away. They get sidetracked and they're going to see all this shit about vampires. I'm going to stop giving this lengthy explanation, but it's the inside joke is about vampires today. Change something. Dapthev Evigan says, I can't wait to get your course. Why are you waiting? Dap the Evigan, how much do you think it is? Let us know. Eric says, I went down one road in Lubbock, Texas today and found 2 empty old laundromats without even looking hard. Good man. Good man.
Kill shot.
All right, we're all now waiting for Dap the Vegan. Are you a vegan? Why are you waiting? I'm giving you exactly 1 minute on the timer. What should we call the timer? If you are just joining us, we're going after Hender's second location, and we do that with a conversation. Go back and watch the actual call. A compliment from the landlord's agent, a young woman who wanted to know if I would, well, she said I sounded like a divorce attorney. Well, what is that supposed to mean? I'll take it as a compliment. All right, Dap the Evigan. I don't know what your real name is, but she says, LOL. Oh, God. Don't.
Try not to be an idiot.
Don't LOL unless you're a 14-year-old girl. I knew you would say that. Well, your time's up, but you answered. Why are you waiting to get the course? I knew you'd say that, but trust me, I'll get it. I'm not asking you to get the course. I'm not asking you to spend money. I want to be crystal clear. I'm asking why you're in a scenario why you have to wait, and that's your business. But it breaks my heart when somebody doesn't have a few bucks to spend on something that is potentially going to change their future. None of you should get the impression that I'm here to say to do anything. Go buy the course, go do that, other than don't buy a laundromat. Go to the comment section in 3, 2, go.